So this is Upton, Wyoming. Now this area is absolutely beautiful. You've got, from here, you've got Devil's Tower, you've got Mount Rushmore, you've got the Badlands of South Dakota, you've got the national grasslands here in this area of Wyoming. And by the way, there's boondocking in the national grasslands. Now that's both north of the city of Gillette and south of Gillette, Wyoming. Plus there's the mountains here too. Just a little slice of small town life in Wyoming. This is a covered wagon that's not covered right now. Can you imagine riding in that seat? All you got for a shock absorber is that spring that would just bounce you up and down. But you can see the bed of it here. It's very narrow. Looks to be about 40 inches wide is all. About 8 feet long. I'm sure there were different sizes. It's just missing the bows that hold the canvas up in the canvas. What a way to travel, huh? Well, we're in a spot called Old Town. It's in Upton, Wyoming. This area was settled back 1890, and it used to be called Irontown, and then Merino after the sheep that came here, and now it's called Upton after a railroad surveyor. Long about 1902 or something, they had changed the name again. The sheep industry was big here, and I guess they called it Irontown before then. They originally called it Irontown because it sprung up along the banks of Iron Creek, and they say the water here was really metallic tasting. So I guess it wasn't too good that way. But it became very big for the sheep industry, and then the railroad came through here too, so that helped. Anyways, enough of that. This area here, though, these are cabins that were donated by the local ranchers and farmers. Behind me, we're going to take a look. They represent some different building techniques for cabins back in the day. Let's go look at them and see what they offer. Hey there, Linda.
Hello.
This one's interesting. How'd you like to live in this?
Sod house. It's built by the high school students, I guess, yeah. Can you imagine living in one? Books I've read said that in a sod house, they'd put up like a sheet across the ceiling to catch the dirt and debris that would fall off every once in a while. Probably
all the time. This one has a modern roof on it, but it would have had a sod roof on it also strung across, branches or wood, for rafters. Then it would have been sod on top. Sod is actually cut from the ground. It's nothing more than grassy earth. You can see the layers in it. Let me get down here where the sun's shining. See grass, dirt, grass, dirt, grass, dirt. So they just basically cut out grassy areas like what we're standing on here into chunks, and then just layer it up like bricks.
So it looks like they take chunks out where there's grass and the roots of the grass.
Yeah.
And the roots hold the dirt together.
Yeah. Well, it would have been warm. Yeah, like Linda mentioned, the high school students built this back in 1997. Just to represent the original houses, which were sod houses. When you got here to this destination, that's what you would have lived in, because you wouldn't want to be living in a tent here in the wintertime. The sod house was much warmer. Let's go check out another building.
Over there they have the blacksmith stuff like my father had.
Cool. This is another style. This is just rough sawn logs. You don't even square the logs up. You just run the logs through and make planks, and you can see the bark is still on them.
Oh, it's really pretty.
It is pretty, isn't it? This was a jail. This is built out of 2x6 planks layered up. This is an original building, and you can see the sheet metal siding. This is steel siding. Let's go take a look inside. I don't know how well you're going to see anything in here.
This is like our house. on Central Avenue.
Oh yeah. Lath and plaster on the walls here. Wood burning stove over here in the corner. Old shelf unit on the wall here. This is all original. Somebody's broken glasses there. And there's 2 cells in here. This is one. Looks to be about 6 feet by 8 feet in here. Some insulation there that they got stored. Heavy duty hinges. No window in these cells, no light coming through. This has got the sheet metal siding on the inside, just like I showed you on the outside. That would have been the bed right there, and that's it. Oh, look at these old things here. Well, these old cups anyway. A little collection of old china. And coming around back to the outside here. They would have served you your food through that slot right there. The door would have been shut. I don't think there might have been bars here probably on the outside. That right there would have been one of 2 sources of light, that and that window there on the front door. This old doorknob, isn't that cool? Little brown porcelain. Boy, it's beautiful actually. Oh, a house of ill repute. Man, it's not very big. Linda's father was a blacksmith. Worked on the Parker Ranch in Hawaii.
Well, you'd have the coals over here. And this, you can just push it and it'll keep turning, and it blows the air and keeps the coals hot. We used to play with that all the time. His was more like that. And then over there would be the big, huge anvil.
So those are blowers? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah.
Huh.
There.
If that one's frozen, yeah?
Yeah. Good old days.
And this is vertical siding. They've put cement in the cracks to kind of seal it up. Oh, wow. Look at the bellows, Linda.
Yeah.
Those bellows got to be 5 feet long from top to bottom. Mm-hmm. There's a hook on one side over here.
I'm just guessing. But then they hang from like the ceiling, and there's a big rope and you pulled on it and the bellows would go.
Yep. That came before those hand crank pumps that you pointed out over there.
Yeah.
Would have been the bellows like that. Wow, that's pretty cool. Anybody have any idea what this thing is?
Well, show us inside.
Huh. It's for grinding something up. Don't know what that is. There's a water tower over there. And here's the stables and corral. Oh, let's go look for hobo shoestring. Somebody's old house. It's kind of falling down inside, so they keep you out of that one. And then various log cabins. Look at the roof on this one. That's an original roof. It's built out of what they had. And look, this style of dovetail on this one is different from the dovetail style on this one. And these logs are hand hewn. You can tell that by these cut marks. These were actually squared up with a special axe called a broad axe. But that's how they squared up those logs. That's the Klingon cabin. This one was the Hawken cabin, the name of the families that originally owned these. And this one is different again. This one's an ice house. This would be heavily insulated. Let's see if we can look inside here. Pretty dark. Can't see much. Now I imagine this ice house originally would have been insulated with sawdust. They would have built, it would have had an inner wall, and between this outer wall and the inner wall, it would have been filled full of sawdust. They would have cut ice out of the streams or lake in the wintertime and stored it in here to have ice during the summertime. Yeah, I'm sorry we can't go in these. This is Sunday. Might be able to see something through the window here, a little bit. I see a piano. Old kerosene lamp on a table. The Rankin cabin. Well, once again, this is on the outskirts of Upton, Wyoming, and the sign on the way into town says, "Best town on earth." And I have no reason to doubt that. We just went through Newcastle, Wyoming. Now we're heading south from Newcastle to down into South Dakota. This area is absolutely beautiful. Lots of places to camp, and I really wish that we were spending more time here. But this is the end of April. In a few days, they've got snow coming here again. We're heading south. We're heading south until it gets warmer. We just crossed over into South Dakota a little bit ago. We're in the Black Hills National Forest, isn't that right?
Yep.
And there is camping all over the place. You know, this area of South Dakota, which is a fantastic state, either to visit or to live in, South Dakota, Wyoming, Montana, up in here, there's a lot of stuff to do. You could spend the entire summer up here and not run out of things to do. This is pretty cool. But I remember the first time we came to South Dakota, yeah?
Yeah. We asked someone, what's there to do around here? And they said, well, there's the Mount Rushmore and Chief Crazy Horse and the Badlands and the Purple Pie House. And
It's like the what?
Yeah, Rick said, what?
How far is it to the Purple Pie House?
What was it, 150 miles?
Uh-huh.
Well, we can do that.
Yeah. That's the first place we headed for in South Dakota. So let's head there now.
Good times.
Well, we literally drove for a day and a half to get here. I'm just glad it's open because it is Sunday. Oh yeah, banana cream and a slice of peach for Linda. There you go, Linda. How's the crust on that one?
It's really good.
Is it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, mine's pretty good.
Yeah, my peach pie was really good. I really liked it.
Her peach pie was actually, I considered it better than my banana cream because her peach pie had, number one, as is evident by a peach pit in the pie, the peaches were from fresh peaches.
Yeah. Be careful, I had 2 pieces of peach pit.
Yeah. So the peaches were fresh, and my banana cream pie was, the bananas were fresh. In other words, they weren't brown at all or anything. So that was really good, but the crust wasn't, it wasn't like Linda's, which was a really nice homemade crust.
Yeah.
But anyways, they have food in there too, some sandwiches and some soups. So it's worth a stop.
And their sign says they're open daily, 11 to 7.
Yeah. So if you're in Custer, South Dakota, stop by the Purple Pie House.
Yep.
And I think he enjoyed his pie too. Now you may be wondering why we're not stopping at Wind Cave National Park or Jewel Caves National Monument or any one of a dozen other places as we drive through here. And first of all, we're not allowed to video in those places anymore, so we don't even bother to go to national parks and national monuments. And second of all is we're just passing through here. We're on our way to southeastern US down to Florida. So this is just the first part of the trip and we're just rolling on through, hopefully to get to warmer climes pretty soon. Well, we come around the corner back there into this beautiful little town of Hot Springs, South Dakota. And the architecture here was pretty nice. Right now it looks like we're standing in front of the railway station, 1891, Union Depot. And this gives you an idea here. There's a caboose, Burlington route. And just in case you were disruptive on the train, here's the jail right here, 1888.
Seems like Calamity Jane was here too.
Really? Did she stay in this jail? Calamity Jane did stay in this jail. It says right here, Calamity Jane gave quite a drunken exhibition on November 10th, 1895 in the Bodega Saloon just down the street and tried to borrow a horse to take it for a ride. She was offered a night's lodging in the city jail by Mayor C.W. Hargens. Calamity Jane did stay in this jail. As you can see, this jail was constructed out of 2x4s laid flat. When I was a kid, my dad took me to the Gonagain area of Washington State, and we met a man there who had a runway on his property, and he had a house, and he had a hangar for his airplane. He had a stagger wing beach, beautiful airplane in that hangar. The house and the hangar were built out of shortcuts of 2x8 or 2x10. Each piece was like 18 to 24 inches long, and he used them like you would bricks. And he built his entire house and hangar out of that. And they were all free. He was getting them at the local lumber mill or something at the time. Yeah, that was quite something to see. I never forgot it.
Look at the big houses up there, or buildings. What are they? They look like from the time era of 1880s, yeah?
Yeah. Up here on top of this ridge line are just huge houses, one after the other. I know it's hard to see in this wide-angle lens. Huge mansions up there. We're just looking at these rocks here. At first I thought they were carved, but I think they're all natural. They're all different, but the same. What kind of geologic features are these? What is that?
I don't know.
Almost reminds me of a big clamshell, the inside of a big clamshell. But they're not carved, because they're all different.
Weird. They look like mushrooms.
Yeah. How odd. Does anybody know what these are? Seriously.
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah, let us know.
Oh, look at that one. That one's really round.
Yeah, how odd. Well, it looks like the old hotel is still a hotel. Well, this is the Evans Hotel, built in 1892. And it's gigantic. It's a huge hotel. Very beautiful, still in use. I don't know if it's a hotel anymore, but... Well, we just talked to a lady who said that the Evans Hotel here is now an apartment building. And she says the apartments are really nice. I imagine they are. It's a beautiful building. I don't know where this stairway goes, but it sure is a fancy way to get there. It says Department of Veteran Affairs. Well, we just talked to the lady in this little store on the corner, and she filled us in on some details of the Hot Springs town here. Kind of a busy thoroughfare through here. It is Highway 385, a lot of traffic. Anyway, she said that this town was founded because of the hot springs and the mineral water. For one thing, she says that this creek here, or this river, flows at 87 degrees year-round. She says as a child, they would inner tube down this river from their house to her grandmother's house 3 miles down. What a nice trip. So the wealthy would come here to soak in the hot springs and to partake of the mineral water. It's kind of an interesting little amphitheater here, 1936. I'm not quite sure what it was for, but let me spin around slowly here. You can see if you were sitting up there, it must have been some kind of a bandstand or something. But you can see the hotel and town is right here on the other side. Oh, I didn't notice that building up there with the dome top. I don't even know what that is. Statue up on top holding that container, obviously of the mineral water that comes out of the spigot here, comes right out of the hill here where Linda's standing. Shall we see what it tastes like? So this is where it comes out at. What's it say there, Linda?
It says, useful in the treatment of chronic diseases of the gastrointestinal tract, diseases of the liver and biliary or biliary passages, disorders of the genital urinary tract, and in sluggish conditions of the alimentary tract.
And I don't know if you guys can read this. You can stop the video right here. It lists the minerals that are in this water. I'm waiting for Linda to taste it.
It says, drink at your own risk. Go ahead, Rick.
I'm going to. You do it.
It's cold. No, oh, it's warm.
Try it.
It's weird. Tastes fine.
Just tastes like...
Yeah. You can taste the sodium in it.
Oh, okay. Actually, just a slight sodium flavor, and it's warm. You could bathe in it, it'd be really nice. One lady did tell us that in the wintertime, there's just a long cloud of steam all the way down through here. We're really enjoying this area of Wyoming and now in South Dakota. What a beautiful and interesting area this is. They say that the best time to visit here is the latter part of June, starting latter part of June, so you can get some of the nice warm weather. But there's lots to do in this area and lots of camping available. And where a lot of hot springs are sulfur, this hot spring is Sweetwater. So you can bathe in the hot springs here in town and not come out smelling like rotten eggs. That's always a plus. You found flowers?
Flowers from home.
Oh, oh, nice. I found a flake out there, just a really old one. Just an old flake from tool making, you know.
Just like us, old flake.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, just, it isn't nothing, but just an old piece of a stone tool. Well, right now there's this beautiful little lake here, and it's filled full of waterfowl. You know, there's all kinds of birds coming in and out of here. So many different calls I'm hearing. But later on this summer, this lake's going to dry up. Well, look, there's a turtle shell down here. Look at that. He's not home anymore. But for you non-ranchers out there, when this lake dries up, this windmill here is going to be very important, because there's a, you can kind of see submerged out there is a tank, and this rancher is going to come out here and he's going to pull a lever that's going to align the tail of that windmill with the wind and make that windmill point into the wind. And when that windmill starts turning, there's a rod underneath that'll go up and down, and it'll pump the water from underground into that water tank so the cattle can have water. Well, right next to our camp is this really old windmill here. The top is missing from it. Here you can see the pipe in the ground with that rod sticking out of it. My question is, if I operate this up and down, can I get water out of this pump after I'll probably, I don't know, a lot of years anyway. Let's see if I can get water out of here or if it's going to wear me out. There's still water. It's a little rusty looking, but now you know what it would, that windmill on top would be pulling this rod up and down when the wind blew, and that little bit of water would fill a tank. Still works.
So, didn't there used to be a windmill thing on the top?
Yes.
So if it was up there, these trees weren't here then.
No.
So that thing is like really old.
Yeah.
Look how big the trees are.
Those trees are 100 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, that's true. That's really old well there. I'm surprised we got water out of it. Still works. Yeah, I think these are cottonwood trees, and those got to be 100 years old. So yeah, you're right, Linda. Thanks for pointing that out. Well, if it was a little warmer, I'd sit outside and smoke a cigar, but it's going to be chilly. What a beautiful old place, though. There's a beaver house, what do you call that? A beaver lodge out in the middle of that pond that I was just taking pictures out there.
Oh, is that what that lump was?
And there was a beaver swimming around, but I didn't get him on camera.
Oh.
Yeah. This will do for the night.
It's pretty peaceful. There's hardly any traffic.
Yeah, there'll be even less when the sun goes down. What you see in there?
Not much, because I'm so short. I can see this and this and that. That's about it.
I should get a peek at the oil here.
I can't even reach that.
Yeah, we're looking all right. Yeah. Well, we're just stopped for the night at just a roadside stop. We're south of Gordon, Nebraska, and kind of central, north central. No, I guess it's northwest Nebraska. Yeah?
Yeah, northwest.
We were headed for a wildlife management area, but it's like 15 miles of dirt road to get out there. Then we saw this roadside table rest stop, and
Picnic area.
there's nobody here. It's not too clean, but we'll pick it up a little bit.
Yeah.
We started.
I don't think anybody will care that we're here.
I don't think so either. But it was quite a day, wasn't it?
It's a long day.
It was.
We did a lot of driving, a lot of
Playing around.
walking around the hot springs.
Yeah. Started out in Gillette, Wyoming, then over to Custer, South Dakota for the Purple Pie House. And that was good. And then I don't know, down through Hot Springs, South Dakota, which was absolutely beautiful.
Ooh. And let's not forget I got an Indian taco from the Prairie Winds Casino.
The Ogallala Sioux. That's right. We stopped at the casino there just to eat.
Yeah.
And it was good.
Yeah, their fry bread was really good.
Yeah, my hamburger was good too. And a little too much. We couldn't eat it all. And then on down to here. Anyways, the plan is tomorrow. We have no plan. We're just headed southeast, kind of. We're going to take the scenic route that shows us up as being a scenic byway through Nebraska, maybe end up in Kansas or Iowa or something. We don't know.
It's funny because we were driving on the scenic byway and there's nothing there. A few trees here and there.
Which one are you talking about?
This is
Oh,
marked
this one.
on the map as a scenic byway.
Well, there's a lot of scenery here.
Yeah, a lot to look at.
It is a beautiful area. Anyways, guys, I hope you liked the video, and it's just us traveling, just showing you how we do it. See you around.